Hi, this is Kristen. Today I'm going to show you how to create folded elements in Photoshop Elements. I'm going to show you how to fold over an element to give it more of a realistic look and to give accent to your, in this case, a Polaroid frame, so that it'll give it more of a realistic look, more dimension, and give your pages a pop. So to do this, I'm not going to show you how to do the whole page that I've made here. I'm just going to be focusing on the flower and the clip. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to open up my photo bin here. This is the flower that I'm using. It is from a kit from the blog Hop that we had over at the Lily Pad for International Scrapping Day. It's a flower from the Bloom kit by Danielle, ETC by Danielle. And then this clip that I'm using is from a mini kit by Mommy-ish, also over at the Lily Pad. So those are the two items I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be going from this to this. And as you can see, there's more dimension here, and that's because I'm not only using shadows, but I'm also using dodge and burn tools to give that element a more three-dimensional look, where it looks like this is folded over and that this is more dimensional with the shading. So that's what we're going to accomplish today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to open up a blank workspace. I'm just going to fill it with white, do File, New, Blank File, and then whatever size that you wish, and I'm going to fill it with white. And so there's my starting point. The next thing I'm going to drag in my my elements, the flower and the clip, onto my workspace. Here's the clip, and then here's the flower. Okay, so now I have my two elements that I'm going to be working with today. I'm also going to be, just because they came in over as a smart object, as you can see with the little square here in the corner, I'm just going to go ahead and simplify that so that I'll be able to manipulate my element a little bit better. Now that that's done, I'm going to first start with the flower. What we want to do is we're going to be cutting this flower in half using the Marquee rectangle tool here in the tool bar, or the tool panel. I'm going down here is your panel for your tools, and it's your tool options. And so I'm going to be selecting the rectangle tool, the Marquee rectangle tool, with a feather of 0 and aspect of normal. You just want to draw out a rectangle and do half of your flower. Now we're going to go to Layer, New, and you want to select Layer via Cut. You can also do this with a shortcut key, Shift, Control, and J all at the same time for Windows, or you would hold Shift, Command, and J on a Mac. But here I'm just going to go ahead and click Layer via Cut. And as you can see in your layer panel, it has now put the top portion of the flower on a separate layer. As you can see, if I turn that off, you'll see that there's two layers. And I'm going to just flip back to the mover tool. And now what I want to do is I just want to grab this bounding box. I'm going to drag it down and keep dragging it down till it comes back to 100. And what that does is it flips it. Alright, so anyway, so as close as you can get to 100. Right now this is not working for me too well, so it's 102, 101. That'll work. And now just adjust it so it's a little bit over so it matches with the other flower, but you'll be able to see the bottom portion of the petals. Here you go. The bottom portion of the flower underneath it. Okay, now we have that done. What I want to do is I want to add a shadow. So I'm going to go down to Effects and Styles. Sorry, we're choosing Styles, and go ahead and select Drop Shadow and just pick a just go ahead and pick this low shadow because we can adjust it afterwards. Now go back to your layers. All right, now with that shadow selected just on your FX button here to the side of the layer, if you hold that and you hold down Alt at the same time, if you drag, it'll add the shadows to both, so you have the same shadows on both. You can also right click and just if you want to try that again, you can right click and copy layer style and right click, choosing the above layer, and paste layer style, and then you have the same layer style on both of your petals. So now we have the clip. We want to grab the clip and bring that over, and using the little rotate bounding on the side, just go ahead and grab that and put that into place. Right, and now as you can see, I got a little bit of a white here on this particular clip, so I'm going to use my magic wand and I'm just going to clip that, click it, and so now it's highlighting that, and I want to add a mask so I can mask that out. So I'm just going to hold down my Alt key and I'm going to click on the Add Layer Mask, and what that did was it just, if you can see here, it just added a layer mask and hid that little white mess. And now I want to go ahead and add the same shadow that I had here on the petals. I'm just going to right click on the layer and do copy layer style and do the same and paste the layer style so it has added the shadow, and I can adjust that just by double clicking. It's going to open up the window and you can adjust your shadow style and the distance, so that looks good. Alright, so now that I've done that, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the dodge and the burn tool. So over here in the tool panel is the dodge tool and the burn tool. The burn tool and the dodge tool are all nestled together here with the sponge tool. So I want to grab the burn tool, and this is set to mid-tones with a soft round brush. The size is about 20, which is fine. We can always make that bigger, and the exposure about 54% is good. And I'm going to start here first on the clip. So I got my clip highlighted here in the layer panel. Using the right bracket key is going to make it a little bit larger, and just on the edge I'm just using the dodge tool just to darken that, to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, and maybe up here a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. That's all we need. Now I'm going to go ahead and select the top portion of the flowers that we had bent or turned over, and I'm just going to go ahead and just on the edges here, and you can get it as dark as you want. Start lighter and then, you know, go over it so that you're not adding too much. And then of course you want it right here on the edge, because up at the top, by putting it on that edge, it's going to give it the fold over look, and just a little bit here under the clip so it looks like it's pinching it a little bit. Then select the lower layer and do the same thing. Just burn a little bit here on the edges. Okay. Now with that done, now I'm going to switch over here to the dodge to the dodge tool. Again, it's mid-tones and it's a soft round, and the size is 70. That's a little bit too big, so I'm going to use the left bracket key to make the brush size a little bit smaller. And right here where I'm on the lower petal here, right here where it's just peeking out from underneath the top, I'm just going to just slightly do a little bit of lightness here with the dodge tool, and do a little bit on that edge too, a little bit of a peak. And now the top flower portion, I'm just going to follow just a little bit and flip right in here, flip back over to the dodge, to the burn, and darken it a little bit. And as you play and practice a little bit, it'll give you a bit more dimension. But I really like how this is going. Just, we have a little bit of light on the petals. All right, so there we go with the dodge and burn. Now this is a little bit sharp on the edges, so I'm going to go ahead and just with my smudge tool, and I'm going to make this a little bit lower, because this distort I think is going to be too much. Whoops, let me go back and undo. See if I can adjust that with the transform. Let's see. Free transform maybe. Well, I think that really actually looks pretty good. You have a little bit of a point or an edge, but it really doesn't look bad. I'm really happy with the way that looks. Once you're done with all of your dodging and your burning, then what you can do is you can highlight them all together and you can link them. Here's the link here, and now they can all move around as one. You can also right click and do group from layers and just name this folded flower, so you know that that is your flower. And then you bring in your picture and you add all your additional elements for your page. And then once you're done, you should have your completed page. I do hope you enjoyed this, just using the dodge and burn tools and learning how to cut your elements via new layer. I hope you enjoy. I can't wait to see your pages, and we'll see you next time.